Guys, this is TFR back with another video. Today we're going to be reviewing another episode of AEW Dynamite. There were some big matches this week. Let's get right into it. So this match between Matt Jackson and Ray Phoenix started out very grapple heavy. And then Neville was playing mind games with Jackson before Phoenix hit 3 tope suicidas in a row before hitting a top rope hurricanrana that was reversed into a powerbomb by Matt for 2. Matt then hit a Canadian Destroyer on the outside. Phoenix got in at the count of 9. Phoenix got to the ropes after Matt Jackson locked in the sharpshooter. They both took out their respective tag partners. So Phoenix took out the other Jackson brother, and Matt Jackson took out Pac. Right? Then Phoenix won with the pile driver, and they stared each other down to end the segment. I liked the match, 5 out of 5. So after this, we had Cody Rhodes in action. So it was a jobber that he was against, so he had a power slam and locked in the figure 4 for the win. Before Pentel Zero Miedo, the person who injured his arm on Revolution in the ladder match, said that he was way better than Cody and that if they ever fought, Cody would never see his kids again. Or kids in general. Then they brawled, and it seems like that's going to lead to something, so that was pretty good. I liked it. 3 out of 5. So this was Ethan Page's AEW Dynamite debut. So he was very arrogant. His moniker is actually all ego, so it sort of makes sense. Lee was pretty impressive. He got a 2.5 with a blue Thunderbomb. And then Page won with the Eagle's Edge, which is basically just a parody of the Razor's Edge, because his name is Ethan Page, right? It was basically the same move. And they beat him down, and QT Marshall, who was in Lee Johnson's corner, didn't do a thing about it because he's angry at him because he didn't credit him when he got his first one a couple weeks ago. It was like a 3 out of 5. So earlier in the show, they explained away the Revolution main event by saying that Kenny made the explosives and Kingston passed out from anxiety, right? Then Kenny Omega go into the ring and he was mocking Kingston. Mox talking about how it was a win-win situation because either he never had to deal with them again or they were humiliated. Then Kingston came down. Omega said he had 10 seconds to get out of the ring before he beat him up. And then they mocked the countdown. Kenny Omega said this really quote-worthy line, 6'9" me, Don. Then, referring to Don Callis. Then Mox came down and brawled with the Good Brothers along with Kingston, and then Christian came down to stare Omega down, put him in the kill switch, but Omega was dragged out to safety by Don Callis. Great way to explain out away and set up some storylines, so 4 out of 5. So then we had the 6-woman tag match between Britt Baker, Maki Itoh, and Reba versus Thunder Rosa, Shida, and Ryo Mizunami, right? So it was pretty good. Maki Itoh sang to the ring. She and Ryo had some pretty entertaining interactions. Rosa did a top rope move to the outside and won the match with a pinfall on Maki Itoh before Britt Baker attacked her. Pretty good, 3.5 out of 5. So after this, we had the main event match between Darby Allin and Scorpio Sky for the TNT title. So Sky was bullying him. Darby sprained his leg. Darby hit a stunner for a close call. Darby pushed him onto the apron before he went for a tope suicida, and Sky countered it in midair into a cutter. Darby went for a standing coffin drop, but Sky countered it and hit a sunset flip powerbomb. Darby countered the TKO into a small package for the win. Sky turned heel with the ankle lock looking thing. Very good, 4 out of 5. So basically, in the main event slot, we had the Inner Circle War Council. So Jericho talked about why it's called a War Council, which was like because it was like some complicated answer. Then Sammy Guevara walked out after like a month away, and he said he had something to show Jericho, and he showed a video of a locker room where MJF was trying to replace Jericho as the leader of the Inner Circle, and MJF said this was actually going to happen, and the rest of the Inner Circle seemed on board with MJF. But then they turned their back on MJF and sided with Jericho, right? And then he was like, I swear, I didn't want to betray the Inner Circle. I didn't want to. And then he said, because I was too busy making my own group. The lights went off for like 10 seconds when they turned back on. Wardlow, Shawn Spears, and FTR with Tully Blanchard were there. Shawn Spears put Guevara through a chair. Everyone else got beat up as well, don't worry. And then Jericho got punched with the Dynamite Diamond ring that MJF had and thrown off the stage with a Wardlow powerbomb as this new group celebrated to end the show. Loved it, 5 out of 5. So that was the show for this week. I think it was really, really good. The card for next week, which is going to be a special episode called St. Patrick's Day Slam. Right now, the card is Kingston and Mox versus the Good Brothers, Cody versus Penta Zero Miedo, Jurassic Express and Bear Country versus Matt Hardy and Private Party and Butcher and the Blade. Jade Cargill will be in action. And on top of all that, in our first women's main event for AEW Dynamite, unsanctioned lights out, Dr. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. I'm going to start doing predictions for the next week. So I think Kingston and Mox will win, Cody will win, Jurassic Express and Bear Country will win, Jade Cargill will win, and probably some reaction and some storyline. And I feel Dr. Britt Baker will win the unsanctioned lights out match. So that's all. If you like this content, make sure you like, subscribe, share, do everything you can. I appreciate all your support. Peace.